state economy and promotion of core Igbo values. Let's give him maximum support for the task ahead. Good evening and welcome to ABS Evening News. My name is Chinyere Ikureke. Wife of the governor of Anambra State, Mrs. Nonyet Soludo, says it is important to grow a fertile socio-economic environment that gives every Anambra child an equal opportunity to live their potentials. Mrs. Soludo, who stated this in Awka, explained that her husband's administration has already come up with strategic roadmap for stronger social structures and policies that support the aspiration of the Anambra child. According to the governor's wife, Anambra State boasts abundance of young untapped potentials, with each child blessed with enormous talent waiting to be exploited rightly and showcased to the world, noting that what every child needs is the right environment supported by education and socio-economic incentives. She, however, observed that government and stakeholders must come up with smart socio-economic policies driven by the will to motivate each child and stir up their dreams, stating that a direct approach must also be engaged to tackle increasing cases of drug abuse among school children and youth. The Anambra governor's wife also explained that the present administration in the state has made significant progress on infant health, improved education, nipping child abuse and forced labor, child marriage, checkmating child trafficking cases, and taking children who should be in schools or classes off the street. She also noted that being one of the first states in Nigeria to pass the Child Rights Act into law, Anambra State is taking strict measures to ensure that every child is not just protected, but given the right platform to live and succeed. Anambra State Internal Revenue Service AIRS enforcement team has apprehended 2 persons for allegedly diverting government revenue. The suspects are Siri Anibogo, apprehended around Sand Beach at Aguleze Chukwu, Agwata local government area, and Onyebuchi Ubele, who was caught at Ogbu community, Orumba North local government area. Correspondent Amaka Chibuzokoe has details.
According to Anibogu, he works for a traditional ruler in the area whom he pays between 7 to 10,000 naira daily from tipper driver's levy who excavates sand from the beach.
Igwe, Felix Nanyago 1, Igwe, Keys na Aguleze Chukwu. The millions of him were passing a lot of 6,000, 7,000. Or up to 7,500.
For Obele, the balance between 15 and 20,000 naira daily from the tipper tickets he sells for Anambra State Tipper Association ASTA through one Jehu Onyejibe, popularly known as Jehu Nanka. Commenting on the feat, the Executive Director, Enforcement, Anambra State Internal Revenue Service AIRS, Dr. Christian Madbuko, restated government's resolve to close all avenues of diverting public revenue.
I want to tip about for the again and with the 15,000, for the 10,000. Like today, I want more change with the Mirizor. But Mirizor and where I kept it among anything.
Dr. Madbuko regretted the involvement of some highly placed persons like the custodians of traditional institutions whom he said are supposed to be helping in generating revenue for the development of the state. He said the litany of development projects lined up by the Soludo administration required that all revenue fronts should be effectively harnessed for total implementation.
Everybody, not just the illegal revenue collectors. These people is here on the road. We are looking for the bigger thief, but the arrest will lead to those they are working for. I am sounding a note of warning to everyone. No matter your position, we will get at you if you are involved in this. We call on their number to help the government because people are stealing our revenue.
The leader of the enforcement team, Mr. Chibuzo Chikwendo, frowned that despite Governor Chukwuma Soludo's plea that such revenue windows should remain suspended for now, people still went ahead to collect and make use of the money on their own. The 2 suspects are already in custody for the law to take its full course. Amaka Chibuzo Okoye, ABS News.
Anambra State Joint Enforcement Task Force on Development Control across the state has embarked on demolition of illegal structures in Idemili North and South local government areas. The development control became imperative due to violation of the state building codes and regulations, as well as assault on its officials by some developers. Government House correspondent Ejike Abana for the report.
The enforcement exercise, which comprised officials of Anambra State Physical Planning Board, security operatives among others, also featured stern warning that the state government will not relent in going after defaulting developers across the state. The demolished structures were a perimeter fencing and gates at Emmanuel Church Street around Jordan area of Mpo, blocking an access road built by government. Also partially demolished was a factory on government land where some people transact businesses in addition to putting poles on the roads. The task force equally demolished a one-story block of lock-up stores under construction at Oba, where the developer was alleged to have assaulted officials of the Anambra State Physical Planning Board who came to the site earlier this year for enforcement. According to the chairman of Anambra State Physical Planning Board, Barrister Chike Maduekwe, who spearheaded the enforcement exercise, it is part of the routine operations of the board to ensure development control and compliance to minimum standards. Barrister Maduekwe explained that it was the board's third time of embarking on enforcement control at Jordan area of Mpo, where an individual purchased an access road and built on it, pointing out that the last time the officials of the board paid a visit to the location, the building was at the lintel level but was demolished. At Oba building site, Barrister Maduekwe recounted the ordeals of the state government enforcement team who were beaten up by the developer and their vehicles destroyed. He warned developers that the state government will no longer tolerate any form of assault on its officials on legitimate duty, noting that any such action will be met with response.
We want to send a message to all developers who think that they can overawe or intimidate government. They have another thing coming. It will never happen again. Governor has given instructions. He wants to build a livable, prosperous homeland for the Anambra. It must happen.
Some residents of Mpo alleged that an individual whose name was given as Mighty has been the one who keep reselling the particular place to unsuspecting buyers. Some other residents who spoke to the ABS on condition of anonymity expressed happiness with the government for coming to their aid.
Anambra State government, under the leadership of Professor Chukwuma Soludo, has begun the distribution of 500,000 oil palm seedlings and 170,000 hybrid coconut seedlings across the 326 wards in the state. The distribution, which commenced yesterday, saw about 10,000 local governments taking delivery of their 1,500 oil palm seedlings and 500 coconut seedlings per ward. Government House correspondent Valentine Mbaduga for the report.
Speaking during the flag-off at Anocha local government area and the Idemili North local government area, the Commissioner for Agriculture, Dr. Foster Ihejiofo, said that the project is targeted at lifting 134,000 families in Anambra State out of poverty in the next few years. He maintained that Governor Soludo is committed in giving Indianambra a secured economic future and ensure that average Indianambra are living above the poverty level.
Mr. Governor is deliberately creating a secure economic future for Anambra State and the Indianambra as families. The way it's structured is to reach out to the economically vulnerable first, and then everybody else can participate as we go along.
The special advisor to the governor on political matters, Dr. Alex Obiobolu, on his part said that the major targets are the poor families in the remotest parts of the state and encouraged the committee to ensure effective distribution according to the governor's directives.
We make sure that dividends of democracy, dividends of good governance you up to your home. And on the first one.
The Transition Committee Chairman of Nnewi North Local Government Area, Engineer Chris Obiora, his Dunukofia Local Government counterpart, Mr. Augustine Onyemobi, and that of Anocha, Mr. Gerald Ozo, while taking the delivery of the seedlings, thanked Governor Soludo for the gesture and foresight. They pointed out the economic importance of palm and coconut trees and the transformation expected, and called on the beneficiaries to maximize the full potential of the opportunity.
The prosperous and the livable Anambra State is just here. Mr. Governor has been so focused and committed to emancipation and empowerment of our people.
The upgrade chairman of Anocha Local Government Area, Chief Anthony Ugoji, who also addressed the gathering at Anocha, emphasized that Governor Soludo-led administration has been full of transformative ideas and urged the people to always key in and support the progressive agendas for a better Anambra State. Official handing over to the Ward Committee chairman at various local government areas climaxed the event.
On national matters, the 10th National Assembly will be inaugurated on Tuesday, June 13, 2023 at 10 a.m. This is according to the announcement signed by the clerk to the National Assembly, Sani Tambuwal, on Thursday. According to the announcement, senators-elect and members-elect of the House of Representatives are to visit the Senate Conference Room 231 and the House of Representatives Conference Room 301, respectively, with copies of their Code of Conduct clearance, certificates of return and valid identity cards for registration on Monday, June 12 at 10 a.m. Tambuwal further added that only senators-elect and members-elects will be given access to the chambers. On the foreign scene, children were among 6 people injured in a knife attack in Annecy in southeast France, local officials said. 4 children sustained wounds following the incident. All of those injured were taken to hospital. Local authorities said that earlier that at least 8 people had been injured. A male suspect was detained in connection with the attack. Lawmakers in French National Assembly observed a minute's silence for those injured in the attack. In sport, every player at next month's Women's World Cup is guaranteed to earn at least $30,000, FIFA says, with the winners taking home $270,000. Women's football is an all-time high, but there have been concerns from players that its growing popularity is not reflected in what they earn, especially compared to men. The World Cup in Australia and New Zealand kicks off on July 20th, and when it does, players from the 32 teams are guaranteed at least $30,000. That amount increases depending on how far teams go into the tournament, which concludes on August 20th. The average club salary of women players is $14,000 according to FIFA, a fraction of what their counterparts in male football earn. FIFA says the ring fencing of money for players is a first, and its investment is 3 times what it was at the Women's World Cup in France 4 years ago. The Global Players Union, FIPRO, welcomed the move, saying that FIFA had listened to the voice of the player. That's the size of our package tonight, but remember that you can follow news and programs on ABS from any part of the world by liking our Facebook page at Anambra Broadcasting Service. Subscribe to our YouTube at ABS Television Oka, on Twitter at ABS Radio TV, on Instagram at ABS Radio TV. You can also log on to our website at www.absradiotv.com. The main points again: Anambra State government has taken strict measures in protecting children. Anambra State Fiscal Planning Board has demolished illegal structures. On national matters, we told you 10th National Assembly to be inaugurated on Tuesday. On the foreign scene, children among those injured in knife attack in France. Here is a special message again. Governor Chukwuma Soludo has come for a total turnaround maintenance of Anambra State economy and promotion of core Igbo values. Let's give him maximum support for the task ahead. Thanks for watching. My name is Chinyere Ikoreke. Good night.